Shalalea, most blessed friends, most beautiful beings, playmates in the cosmic playground that we sit in. Feel welcomed in this space, feel welcomed in this moment. I am Mathias of the Elohim. It is a while since my presence was felt on this earth. I come not as a teacher. I come not as a guide. I do not even come as a friend. I come as something that is most interpersonally connected to you. I come as the child that you are. I come as the creator that you are. My energy is being transmitted now from a diversity of stars, and as such it radiates itself into the earth. My energy is being transmitted now. Although I am not an energy being, I use the carrier wave of energy. Being transmitted now from all of the memories, all of those moments that you had as a child. And as such, I am not just being radiated into the earth, but also being radiated out of you. I am a collective consciousness of all the dreams and all the inspiration that was with you, that walked with you when you were a child. But a child, some would say, but a child. Oh, little do they know. Little do they know how important it is to be a child on planet Earth. It is a state that all of you are, of course, returning to. I'm speaking to so many now, through so many now. The introduction that I just used, which connects to the synchronicity of your lives, Shalalea, is indeed a translation of an Elohim concept, which would mean, in blessing you, I bless myself. In blessing you, I bless all things. And in this blessing, we are all one. Which would be the true meaning of this word. The voice wonders why I am speaking now. Even connected to what seems to be a rather small group of just 3 sitting here, gathering here right now. Well, I will explain this, because I have waited for a long time to speak. As I will explain this, I will share some insights with you about the universe, the cosmos, your own heart, and all that is. You see, many have looked for this place that they would call nirvana, or heaven. And of course, many great teachers have walked the earth in the past, telling, showing people that the heavens or the nirvana was not something that was to be found outside, but on the inside. Yet, even those who got so very close to it did not know where to look, did not know where to find this beautiful energy known as nirvana or heaven, and I will tell you why. It's very closely connected to something which this voice has shared before, as she was bringing in another being closely connected to my energy called Adamus Germain, or Adam G, as he prefers to be called. Well, the reason why this nirvana or this heaven concept was so difficult to find is because of the past that humans, and many other beings in the galaxy for that matter, carry with them. The past is a prison. The past is a continuation of something that does not need to continue. The past ruins the present moment and creates a very bleak future indeed. As Adamus has shared previously, this whole concept of freedom, this whole concept of new energy that the earth is now finding itself in gradually, has to do with beginning. Always beginning, like the very heartbeat, the pulse of life itself, the brightness of the stars as they radiate their light in one pulse and then another pulse and then another pulse, bringing it forth from other dimensions into this one. It's all got to do with beginning. Now, Adamus has shared with you the concept of the Big Bang. Yes? And this concept of the Big Bang is the universe in which I and that which you have called the children of the universe or the children of the cosmos, the Elohim, exist in. No, we are not children, however. We are not small beings, however. We are more expansive than one would imagine. In that expansion, I do not carry a name. The name Mathias is just a name that came up in the head of this voice as the energy started pouring out. Probably connected to another being carrying a similar name, which is very closely connected to the childhood of many here on earth. And so I will now take on these attributes of that being. I will become the playmate for all children. I will become a partner for all those who would consider themselves adults. I will be on the path with the animals of this planet as they take their steps into their now moment, each and every single moment of the now. I will be the wind that breezes through the trees. I will be the clouds that are touched by the rays of the sun. And in being that, I offer you Shalalea, the chance to be blessed and to bless yourselves and to also share in this experience. For separate from you I am not. I am one, as are we all one. Now, in this Big Bang moment that created many universes all together as one, lives the planetary system, or it goes even beyond that because it has no form. I am just translating it into 3D, that you know as Elohim. It is where the elders live, and it is where the young live. It is where the timeless exist, and the spaceless, and the shapeless, and the lifeless also, because in doing so, we also become the deathless, you see. It is a voice that is created in every single moment, with every breath that you take, with every moment in which your heart beats. A voice and an energy pattern which is available to you, for you. Now, moments before this voice would bring me in, and those who are sitting here now felt something shift. It showed up in what has been known for quite some time now as the passion chakra or the action chakra, and it showed up as a simple belly ache. But this belly ache that some here have been feeling for quite some time is indeed grand, is indeed beautiful. I'll tell you why. As in the last few years, so many have planted the seeds for a new earth, a new beginning. These seeds are now blooming. The first seed began blooming a while ago and has now made its way out of the earth. and its little twigs are being touched by the sun for the very first time. This is what this moment, this is what today is all about. It is so beautiful to see how humans are still categorizing their existence in days and in hours and in minutes and in seconds and in years and what have you not. Yet, when I speak of this day, I do not speak of a linear day. I speak of the day unost. I speak of a cup, a holy grail, that is once again your body. And when I speak of the seeds that are coming to fruition through the passion chakra of the Gaians here on earth, I speak of the Menei Ani Ish, finally returning completely into the self. Now the self has been discussed before as a sovereign energy life force. And the soul has been discussed before in a small group also as the seat of unified life. The seat of unified life. This is the seed, if you will, that is now blooming. And the beauty of that is bigger than you can imagine. It means that what you would call new, in the sense that it is timeless, team, has arrived on planet Earth. And this message is meant as much for those two sitting here now and their cooperatives as many, many others who are blessed with the same mission to bring forth this new earth energy here on earth. And they will hear this message. Some will hear it through the audio recording being made right now, and others will hear it in their heart. But hear it, feel it, touch it, and connect with it, they will. When I speak of a new team having arrived on planet Earth, I speak as much of those of you who are now ready to step into something new as I speak of those who are surrounding you right now. Those who will carry with you the energy of the mission, as you would call it, in the coming years. I will now quote. I will now list their names. And many of you are already aware of them, obviously. Their names are the beautiful blossoming energy that you know as Solaris. Then the combination of what once called Gaia and humanity itself, speaking through the simplicity of the Gaian. There is one who will now bring in a very distinct force of consciousness which has so long been called intelligence, as it has been connected to reptilian energy, now also blending with Gaian. And this voice will also start to speak, known as Moch. And then there is the Buddha, who has been away for a while, has been in hiding for a while, but who will also start to rise up from the depths of your soul. And of course there is Adam G., formerly known as Adamus Saint Germain, who will share with you the human experience of what it was like to be in the old and to shift into the new. And then the joyous, blabbering beauty of the Kuthumi, Lal Singh, will also be present. To conclude, the voice of that being known as Ikara, who has incarnated on earth in so many different occasions, known as the Jeshua Christ, known also as the Krishna, known as many others, including the author. And then there is myself, the Mathias, who will blend the Elohim energy with the Gaian energy. Because this is the reason why my voice is sounding right now. The reason is simple. A new earth, blessed beings, means that the earth itself and everything around it, the whole universe around it basically, and basically that which you have called all that is shifting into the same space that we as Elohim inhabit. We are becoming cosmic neighbors and cosmic friends and cosmic brothers and cosmic sisters. So it is possible now for me to speak, although the voice needed to translate the energy from very far away, it seemed. The only reason why it appeared as very far away is very simple. Because of your past. It is your past that has created this whole linear line of time. And this whole linear line of time needed to be crossed to go back to that Big Bang moment which is present always and everywhere. Everywhere. You see? So as this team is at this very moment permanently blending with the Gaian that you are, in allowance for the vibration to raise itself up, you need to know. You need to know how much love there is in truth. In all truth. How much action exists in all truth. And how much wisdom exists in all truth. The word truth, however, is you. You are the truth. You are the way and you are the path. Oh, it is a beautiful Shalalea energy that is being created here at this very moment. Because this is truly the expression of that which you have called the Akene, which is the heart of all things. This new earth, the seeds of which are now emerging, means something greatly. I have to tell you this, because today even the voice, when I was not sitting in it, was confronted with a person on this earth who spoke about earth changes and a magnificent misconception which has been created so very often is this, that these earth changes are going to happen on a physical level of reality. So many have said that continent will rise and that will be flooded and that will be burned. Oh yes, of course there are many changes taking place on the earth right now, but nothing so dramatic as many humans, and I make the distinction between humans and Gaians very clearly now, as many humans would believe. Because you see, most of these changes that are occurring are about what you have called in the past the sacred sites, the power places, the vortexes, those types of things. And that is what is shifting. Now this message is coming in what you have labeled as Taos, New Mexico. It is the first shift that is taking place, and this is why this group to which I'm speaking now find themselves here. This shift will last for quite some time as the energy is neutralized, as the energy is reborn once again. And as you begin to realize the distinction between yourself and energy, you are life force which is not energy. Energy responds to life force. Energy is a result of the life force. And the life force which you are in your soul works with the energy to create reality around you and to create reality inside of you. And this is quite different. The reality that you know in this new earth that you have just stepped onto is not to be found only on the outside. It lives on the inside as well. Reality is something which is multidimensional once again, and which is very fluid indeed, ready for you to paint with, and to play with, and to sing with, and to dance with. Oh, I can only advise you now to pick up these arts once again, because this, my beloved, is how you bring in this reality that lives inside of you, by expressing yourself through words and song and dance, by all means of creation. And this you knew as children. And this is why I call myself your playmate that was with you as a child, because this is what you did. You had an inner reality and you brought it out. Now, as this happens here in Taos, New Mexico, a new vortex of not just earthly, but also cosmic energy is being brought in right here. And it is going to move to other places as well. And this is why this group to which I am speaking now, and many who are listening at a later point, have been drawn to some of the places that I will mention. Obviously, Taos, New Mexico. But also that which you have called Sedona, Arizona, that which you have called Mount Shasta in Northern California, that which you have called New Zealand, that which you have called Den Helder in the Netherlands, that which you have called Peru, that which you have called Hawaii, and these are only the first few places in which it is happening. As these vortices, which basically are the earth changes, are now shifting, I need to tell you that in the coming time, or timelessness that we will spend together, we will teach you about what these are and how to work with them. And this is what the Peruvian knew, and this is what the Mayan knew, and this is what the Lemurian knew, and this is what you will know once again. In saying these things, and I sound very excited, I know, in saying these things, I must tell you that you already did this when you were a child, and that this is coming back once again. In saying these things to you, I must also tell you that that which you have called the old paradigm reality and the old earth reality has been closed off and is no longer accessible. Those who will access it, who are basically on the mission, will find themselves in a very hard time indeed, because it is no longer accessible, you see. Now this could be looked at as a negative, but I will look at it as a positive, because I will tell you that the closing off of that energy simply means, very simply, that the creations that have been building up in the last few years in the lives of those sitting here, but also in the lives of those who are going to listen to this at a later point, are going to expand beyond measure. And this I mean quite literally. It has been just an expression on your planet Earth when you said, "Oh, I love you beyond measure." But how could the human mind talk of beyond measure? It measured everything. It measured time and it measured space and it measured your life and so many other things. But now, your creations will move into a space beyond measure. And most of you have felt it. Also those listening in now have felt it take place. It is a beautiful moment in which we sit, although it is sometimes so very hard to recognize. It is time to enter into the celebration known as Shalalea, where you once again bless yourself, truly, as you bless the other. And with the other, I mean that which you have called the stranger, that which was separate from you. In celebrating Shalalea, you once again make the circle of unification complete as energy flows out of you and into all things and back into you, not changed. In an old earth, as you gave energy to someone, and someone worked with that energy and became very happy with it indeed, he, she would give it back and it would be changed. Energy will no longer change. This is the biggest difference in a new earth reality versus an old earth reality. That in an old earth reality it was the life force energy putting its creation onto the energy itself, the external energy that is, and hence changing the energy. In a new earth creation, it is the life force which changes, and the energy around it which stays the same to reflect the change that occurred in the life force energy. So, in a new earth, so to speak, energy becomes very simple. It becomes the mirror. The mirror in a way that was not so before. You needed to look at life force, to look at each other and to look each other in the eyes and in the soul to see the mirror. But now more so than before, the energy around you will become the mirror of the changes that take place in the internal reality. This deletes the past and puts you in a state of what you would call Big Bang, which would be the beginning. And in doing so, we are becoming cosmic neighbors. We invite you into this space. We welcome you as the new children of Elohim, understanding that child does not mean what it meant in an old reality. Child is the true identity, the only identity of the Master. For it is ever growing, ever experiencing, ever curious, ever playful, ever fantasizing, ever inventing. Work with these attributes and you will see what changes occur within you. As you do this, you will notice that you can finally take off the glasses and the blindfolds in some cases, where you can see what reality is truly about. But you cannot look to the outside for that. You must look to the inside. These new earth senses are not senses which are aimed to an outside reality, but to an inside reality and then moving out of you. And then being reflected from the energy back into you. That is how you open up the many layers of multidimensionality that exist around every object, everything, every person, every particle of matter and energy. That is how you open up. The next time I will speak, we will start doing these exercises, and they will be very playful and they will be very beautiful. So you will begin to learn what it is like to be a consciousness, and I would even dare to say awareness pioneer. You sit at the bottom of a magnificent mountain, metaphorically speaking, in most cases. And that mountain is a reflection of the grandness of your creation. In this new earth, beloved friends, it is no longer about looking up at the mountain and thinking, oh, this is impossible to climb, so high, and my body so small. It is about looking up at the mountain and recognizing yourself, your own creation. It is this that we will teach shortly, as it will open up these portals that have been spoken about for so long, where you will recognize that you are already in every place and in every time of that which you have called reality. And you are about to regain the ability of choice, so that you can choose where your focus is. I invite you to start practicing focus and choice. So often it happens that you are misguided. So often it used to happen that you are drifting back into an old earth. Again, by your own choice, this field that you have called old earth will be very difficult to step into, so that you will immediately know what is happening. It will be like a bad dream that you will want to step out of immediately. And this is not something that any being that has helped you along the way, or even myself, has created for you. It is a choice that has been made by you as new earth pioneers. Once again, you step over the boundaries. Once again, you step through a beautiful new frontier. And you will see why you have chosen not to move back into old earth energy. Because this energy will quite literally suck you back in and take from you the creative ability of the life force that you are, so that the life force can only be the observer. And this observer is what you have been for too long. You have been waiting around, sitting around, even though you have been busy with so many things. Really getting down to it was impossible for you, because you were here as observers, waiting for that moment to occur, which has now occurred, allowing you to step into a more active role. Another important thing here is trust, because you will see that, as I have told you, and has been said by many others, that it is impossible to miscreate something, to miss the mark, so to speak. It has become impossible to do that. Yet, if you don't trust yourself, this old earth energy will pull you back in and take that trust from you, and take that creative ability that you as life force have now regained. And so the creations will occur all around you in the energy field which is not of your own making and not of your deepest being. Trust that every creation that you do from this point forth is bound to be a success. A message from the others before I leave, the team that I have just mentioned. They want you to know how closely connected they are to you in this very moment, as am I. They want you to be aware of the fact that there is a space within the soul, in the core of this beautiful soul energy, where you are in continuous communion with each other, especially now. Much will change, because you are finally allowing that change to occur. Never look back. Never surrender. Never be afraid. Whatever you are feeling, whatever you are doing, whatever you are creating, at the bottom of all of it is love. You can step into that love always, in your understanding that you are grand, a grand being that I would call a child. Go back into that playfulness. Be that child once again. Be it always. In the child lives the garden of the gods. of that which you have called the gods. There's a place that has been forgotten by many. These teachers and friends that I have summed up in the course of this message have guided you back to that space. And now as the first seed has been blooming, you have stepped into that space. Your senses cannot translate it yet. It is impossible for them to do so. Allow that process. Allow that it is so. But know that the space around you is even beyond unreal. Know that the space beyond you, although the senses cannot comprehend it, has been broken open completely once again. That which has been called the eggshell by some no longer exists. It's completely gone. With the arrival of many sun children on planet Earth, one of which will speak in the future calling itself Leisula, she will join this core of mission members and speak, has created that very exact thing. That the eggshell, the box, is gone. The only reason why you are still seeing it and feeling it and experiencing it is that your senses now need to be recalibrated. And this is what we will do with you at your request. It will take some time in the illusion that you sit in to recalibrate these senses. And it will take indeed, once more, a great deal of trust, because once you step into it, there is no going back. So think about these things now. Feel what has been said here and how this reflects inside of you. There is still a mind out there somewhere that is slipping gently inside of you from time to time that would say that this message might indeed be boring. Now, this message is not meant to be interesting, as the Buddha would say. This message is simply meant to be what it is, the truth, together with you. And now, my beautiful beings, wonderful playmates, I can only wish you, together with all of us, a wonderful Shalalea in this Ekaraya moment, this speaking from the heart of all things moment. We will be with you because we are you. We are truth with you. And that being said, I raise my hand to my chest and touch my heart. In this space, I bid you farewell until we meet again. And so it is.